had a slight bit of an issue here. I luckily drove my car all the way here to Bowling Green from Little Rock, Arkansas with the brand new motor, and the brand new motor is running so good. But on the way here, every time I engaged the clutch, I heard this watery noise, and then when I fully engaged the clutch, it was kind of jumping when it was fully engaged all the way on the floor. Then, when I was doing a photo shoot off the property of the Beach Bend racetrack, which is here at LS Fest East, is where the event is held, I was just simply driving down the street and my clutch completely stuck to the floor. I wish I was hooning and doing something sick, but it completely got stuck, and my car also got stuck in first gear. So I had to yank it out of first gear. I tried to figure out what it was, and we noticed all this fluid just coming out of the housing. So my slave cylinder is definitely gone. My clutch is definitely gone as well because it has 100,000 miles on a stock clutch. The reason I didn't put in the clutch at GPI when we pulled off the motor was because I was waiting on my center force clutch, which of course had a little bit of shipment delays, like usual with all the COVID delays in the last 2 years. The clutch came 3 days too late because the clutch will be at GPI on Monday, so the car doesn't necessarily run unless it gets pushed. And I will show you guys the pedal inside the car. It's completely stuck to the ground, doesn't move whatsoever. Luckily, I had 6 guys with me to be able to push my car all the way from off the property all the way back to the Holley booth. So my car is safe and sound here for the weekend, and I made sure that the car would be here all weekend so all of you guys at this event were able to see it. We went through a lot of effort. Everyone was sweating to get this car here, but I was trying to find a clutch for all day, honestly, but I found 3 clutches on property but no slave cylinder, so sadly I have to tow the car back to GPI, which I'm towing it tomorrow morning, so stay tuned for that. But I want to show you guys the clutch because hopefully you guys don't see this often, and I'll show you guys exactly what this looks like if this does happen to your guys' car. Alright, so my car was stuck in first, and we basically had to rip it out of first into neutral because this clutch, as you can see, the clutch is usually where my hand is, but the clutch is all the way to the ground, and it has 0 resistance, enough to where I barely tap it with my finger, it goes all the way to the floor. So I couldn't even get my foot behind there to lift it all the way up, and you can't get it into any gear at all. So that's what it looks like.
I'm proud of it. Really am. Take care. Nice meeting you.
You too have Caleb, by the way.
Yep, I'll look you up.
Thank you. I actually might need that wrench.
The wrench?
Yeah, because the more I raise it up, the more I'm compressing the spring going up. Pretty bad.
Yeah, and see that plastic is stuck to that shaft? That is the throw-up bearing support that melted, basically ran out and locked up the throw-up bearing in a release position.
Aaron gets so determined.
Great opportunity for... Yeah, see this is the actual support, and it used to be...
You'd be able to press it in and out.
The throw-up bearing used to be here, but it's drove the throw-up bearing. This thing melted down and it drove the throw-up bearing down on it. This piece, this little plastic piece, used to look like that billet piece I showed you.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like that anymore. Eventually, when this plastic piece wore, then what happened is slave had to keep on creeping out in order to release the clutch because it's basically self-adjusting. Well, then finally it got to the point where the seal on the slave actually came all the way out of the housing, and that's when your fluid blew everywhere and you quit being able to release it all. Because all this thing has is just
stuck in there.
It has this rubber seal in there that operates inside that cavity. And see, that's the actual seal. And see, that's when the fluid finally blew out. When this thing got out so far in order to make the clutch release, that thing melted down, so you pushed the pedal, the fluid displaced all this area, shoved that all the way out to the point where the seal basically went outside the lip of this housing, and then that's when your fluid all went away and your clutch pedal went to the floor. hydraulic fluid is introduced through an orifice back here, and it's just the hydraulic fluid displaces it, and that's what moves it up.
Moves it up and down.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
And the clutch pressure, the pressure plate itself, forces it back, you know, and retracts it.
Right.
Yeah, it's a goner. It
Goes a little bearing.
it did its tour of duty, and it's ready for
100,000 miles.
It's ready for a military retirement.
Goodbye. Goodbye, little slave.
did its tour of duty. See, the dimensions are still the same. Max. And that's all there is to that.
Nice.
And now we have a GPI modified billet insert in our slave saw.
Woo!
Yay! May the center force be with you. Oh God.
Oh, God.
I know.
Aaron's references.
Star Wars, baby.
Oh, if only it was the May the 4th or something. Slip it on, and then it's held on by, what, two 10mm bolts?
That is correct. I'll figure out.